Welcome back, day 2 of the Downtown Festival in Enid, sponsored by Squirtle. We're going to be here all day long, just as we were yesterday. We have 8 games, starting with the Luther Lions and Pawnee Black Bear girls, and after that we'll be having the boys game too as well. Long action-packed day. We have 8 games lined up for you, well, eight actual matchups lined up for you. We do have a correction in our schedule, and I'll walk through that real quick. We'll have Luther and Pawnee girls and boys first, back-to-back. Then we'll have Watonga and OBA girls. Then we'll have Watonga and Hinton boys. That was a change to the schedule. Watonga boys were not able to play. Then we'll have Garber and Minko boys and girls. And we'll cap it off with Hennessy and Lomega boys and girls. Pawnee will start the game. Number 10, Jaylee Dvorak, a 5'5" senior, number 10. Number 20, Bella Wilson, a 5'11" junior. Number 23, Destiny Dunbar, a 5'1" senior. Number 25, McCarthy Speak Thunder, 5'6" freshman. Number 34, Haley Stevens, 6'1" junior. Luther wearing white will start. Number 2, Bailey Wilds. Number 3, Shantae Silva. Number 4, Harley Jones. Number 13, Tierney Westermeyer. And number 22, Lindsey Coleman. Luther ranked 13 in the state, the 8-3 record. Pawnee girls are 8-6 and unranked, but they have won 3 straight games. I'll be joined this morning by the head coach from the Chisholm Longhorns, Corey Miller. Corey came off a big victory yesterday over the, 3rd or 4th ranked Class 2A Cashion boys, and probably the most exciting game of the day yesterday. So congrats, Coach, and thanks for we appreciate having you on.
I appreciate it. It's a good win. I was really proud of the kids' effort, and just thankful for Squirtle and all you guys do for high school basketball or high school sports in general. You guys do a great job of showcasing all the talents of our student athletes.
Yeah, you bet. And that's kind of our objective. We want to thank Luther. Luther is one of our partner schools. Luther's been with us through the football season. Athletic director over there, Coach Meeks, has got us all signed up, and we appreciate them. And Pawnee's a team that we don't have currently on our network. They're a team we see a lot with a lot of our partner schools. So if anybody out there from Pawnee's listening and they want to join the network, we'd love to have them. Early on, Pawnee up 4-0. I'll tell you one thing, Corey, you guys do a good job. Chisholm and Cashion help host this event and help organize kind of everything with Stride Bank, but they also get all the officials, and we have state tournament officials for every game. I don't think people understand how hard that is to get those kind of officials, because there's not a lot of great officials out there anymore.
Yeah, you got an A-class official with Dakota and Mark and Tom Singh out here to early morning games. These guys you'll see Saturday in state championship games, but. Yeah. Mark Martin does a good job. He's the director of officials in Northwest, or the Enid region. He assigns these officials, and we got a pretty good group of 10 to 12 guys that we see on a regular basis that do a great job. They know the people they're going to go call the obvious, and we have a good. I mean, it's hard to say that a lot of times. You got good officials, and I think these guys are some of the best in the state.
Even not being a coach like you and being up here on the headset, it's hard to sometimes not be critical of officials.
It is. I mean, that's one thing. I've been refereeing football for 20 years. And we've done a 5A state championship last year, and it put me a lot. In my younger days, I was pretty hard on officials and stuff like that. And once you've been out there in the line of fire, and it's a difficult job. So these guys come out, and they're here for the kids, and they're not out here to just to call the game and stuff like that. But we're thankful for the crew we got and officials across the state of Oklahoma.
Big 3 there by Bailey Wilds for Luther. Luther gets on the board. Hadn't really talked a whole lot much about the game, but Pawnee has opened up a 4-3 lead here early. But a big shot there by Bailey Wilds kind of closed that gap early.
Sort of contrast in styles. You see Pawnee full court man-to-man. They're pressure in the half court man-to-man, and Pawnee sitting back in a 2-3 zone. So you just see how Pawnee can handle the press of the pressure that Pawnee or Luther's putting on them.
Yeah, and obviously just noticeable, Pawnee has a size advantage just right off the bat. But nowadays, the way the game's played, that's always not much of an advantage anymore.
That's true. I mean, the stretch 5 is becoming a big factor in the game today, and there's a lot more three-point attempts, and just the game overall has changed and philosophy-wise. You see more people shooting threes. You don't see very many post players get inside-out touches, and it's the evolution of the basketball, what it is today. There's a lot of things that when me and you played in high school are taken for granted and lost art right now.
Yeah, no doubt. I was telling Tom yesterday on a couple of our calls, and actually Todd too. I think I was able to count more than 2 bounce passes I saw yesterday, and that might have been the first time. It took a festival for me to see that happen.
Pass fakes, bounce passes. Everybody wants to try the one-handed three-quarter bounce pass and do things fancy instead of fundamental nowadays. And that's the one thing we've been trying to for our team is just to be fundamentally sound and just play the game of basketball. You don't need to go out there and try to do things you can't do or you see on TV all the time.
Yeah, no doubt. That's tough, too. So Harley Jones there with the nice move inside. She'll be going to the line, the 5'3" sophomore. She averages 8.3 points a game. Like I mentioned earlier on, Luther is 8-3 and ranked number 13 in 2A. Look at their schedule early on. I believe that they have beat one ranked team. Have a handful of ranked games they were supposed to play. They're supposed to play number 3 ranked Dale. That one got canceled. They were probably happy about that. And then also Jones. I know Jones is another very talented team. Right up the road, a big rivalry for Luther.
This pressure Luther's putting on in the full court's giving Pawnee a little problems early. You see another turnover off the inbounds.
Shanti Silva with the last basket on transition. Corner 3 there for number 40, Addison Harris, freshman. Blocking foul there on number 40, Addison Harris. Yeah, Corey, you're right. Early on, you do see a definite size difference and a definite style difference between the two teams. Haley Stevens inside for the putback. Just short. Ball will belong to Pawnee underneath. Pawnee, schedule-wise, they have played one ranked team. It was number 8 ranked Alva early in the year, and they lost by 4, which we're pretty familiar with Alva. We see them quite a bit. Coach Horn right now is going through a lot of COVID issues and injuries, and I thought his girls battled hard yesterday, even the fact that they had 3 kids out. And I know they're young. They have a really young roster, and it's crazy. And it may be this way for boys. I don't pay attention as much, but I pay attention a lot to the girls. And I've noticed this, a lot of really young teams across the state. Like there's not much senior, not a lot of teams with a bunch of seniors, and it's nuts. You look at this today, especially Luther. I mean, they've got a bunch of sophomores and juniors and freshmen playing. And now on Pawnee's side, they do have, a few more seniors and juniors. But it's not just this game. It's like all day yesterday, the day before, any tournaments, we're calling a lot of young players out there,
that's
like.
Not the case. I start 5 seniors and stuff like that. But we try not to look at that and say, talking about the Alva girls, we seen them first of the year. They put 70 up on Chisholm and 70 to 66 ball game and stuff like that. If they get healthy, they'll be a team. Coach Moore does a good job with them. They'll be a team later on in the playoffs. I don't think anybody want to play. So we'll just they're going. I mean, everybody goes through peaks and valleys during the season. Yeah. They're in a low spot right now. They're having a hard time scoring the basketball and stuff like that. And it's better to be doing it now than in the 1st of February when playoffs start. So I'm sure they'll work out their kinks and start playing good basketball shortly.
Yeah, last basket on Luther's end was Shantae Smith with the easy little bump inside. And Luther leads 8-6 here with 3:52 to go in the first quarter.
Luther's doing a good job versus attacking this 2-3, penetrating a little bit and trying to get the ball inside out, attacking gaps, and they're attacking Pawnee zone well right now.
Good look inside by Smith, just a little bit too much heat on it, a little bit too much sauce on that pass. Corner jumper by Tierney Westmeyer. That's actually their leading scorer, was pretty long there. I'll tell you one thing, Miller, I've noticed in this tournament, those additional three-point lines have really bug kids from the perimeter. As I'm speaking on that, number 25 for Pawnee, McCarthy Speak Thunder with a nice little and one opportunity for Pawnee, and they tie it up at 8. But kind of back to that three-point deal, I noticed that it plays tricks with these kids, and they want to fire it behind that line anyway, and so now they're trying to fire it behind the third line.
Yeah, you got the 19.9, the high school three-point distance, and you got a college, and you go to the NBA, and you do. I mean, normally good shooters know where they're at on the court at all times, and then some kids could shoot it out to that NBA range, but a lot of times these high school kids ain't developed enough to shoot it that far. But it is just a location, know where you're at on the court at all times, but it causes problem with kids when they're lining up to shoot the three ball.
Like you mentioned, Luther being very patient, good ball movement, nice little kind of one-legged leaner by Tierney Westmeyer. Luther takes the 10-8 lead. Looks like Coach Spears from Pawnee wants a timeout after they register this foul, which would be good. We need to pay some bills anyway, so. And we'll be back shortly when the Enid Downtown Festival, hosted by Squirtle. Pawnee trails Luther 10-8 with 2:52 to go in the first quarter.
The High Plains Insurance Agency takes pride in keeping up with many changes in the crop insurance industry and keeping their insurers informed of these changes. The goal is to help each farmer customize their crop insurance to meet their needs. Thanks for your continued business, and remember, call Amy, Carissa, or Danny at High Plains Insurance in Medford and Loyal at 580-395-2447 or toll free at 1-800-346-4056 for a quote today.
Need to also announce a special thanks to all of our sponsors that help us produce these events that we have. We have 20-some plus sponsors, and they've been with us all season long. They've been with us through football season, through all of our basketball events that we have. All of our guys here that are helping produce know who they are. They see their commercials all the time, and everybody across the state really that watches Squirtle is going to see some familiar faces and familiar names, and so we can't do these types of events without those sponsors, so we want to thank them. Tierney Westermeyer at the line. She hits 1 of 2, and Luther extends their lead to 11-8. You're right about
Luther's pressure. I mean, they switched it up a little bit right there. They're everywhere. It's like 6, 7 girls out there playing, and they're just running and jumping, playing man, and just getting after Pawnee right now. They're not doing a very good job ahead on their pressure.
And Shanti Silva has been all over the place. I know she's had a couple of easy buckets in transition she's missed, but she's capitalized the last few times.
And look, I mean, there's a size advantage right there. Silva from Luther guarding a big. Pawnee may try to go take her down the block and post her up, see if they can get her in a little foul trouble.
Yeah, no doubt. That's about a 1.5 foot advantage, and that's exactly what they did. That was a good call, Coach. That's why we have you on for this great color commentary. Haley Stevens with the easy bucket, the 6'1" junior inside, closes the gap 13-10. Luther leads with 1:45 to go in the first quarter. There's one of those NBA threes put up by number 5, Darcy Roy, the sophomore from Luther, just short. We'll have a timeout on the floor. We'll go ahead and take another timeout with them. We'll be back shortly on the Enid Downtown Festival, sponsored by Squirtle.
Are you looking for a bank that provides excellent security and safety for your account information? Then Bank Central is made for you. When you use our website, bcna.com, you can pay bills, check account balances, download statements, and even manage your debit card. With our mobile app, you can do all that, plus make deposits as easily as taking a picture with your phone. Talk to a CSR at any of our 5 locations to find the products that work best for your banking needs. At Bank Central, we're centered on you. Member FDIC.
So as we come back from the timeout, Luther leads 13-10 with 1:38 to go. I know looks like Coach Spears is wanting to go over a few things. Coach Miller noticed on that last possession they obviously have some sizable advantage and mismatch inside, but the trouble is getting the ball to the post player.
Pawnee's doing a good. I mean, Luther's doing a good job. Once Pawnee gets in the half court, they're doing very well. But here's the problem right now is when they're picking up full court, they're turning the basketball over, giving Luther easy buckets. But once they get the ball across half court and run their offense, they're getting good looks.
Yeah, nice little play there by Darcy Roy to knock it out of bounds, actually off the Pawnee player. So Luther will get the ball underneath. Three in the corner by Darcy Roy, just short. Rebound to Pawnee. Ooh, it's a blocking foul on Silva. Subbing in the game for Luther is number 40, Addison Harris, a 5'2" freshman. Averages right at 7 points a game. Luther's got, if you look at their scoring, it's pretty amazing how spread out it is. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 girls that average over 5 a game.
I noticed that. I mean, they've got 2 girls close to double figures, and that's good to have a balanced team. That, I mean, you could go get 10 to 12 from 4 or 5 different girls every night. It's beneficial. I mean, you're not counting on one girl to carry the scoring load every night. When you got consistency in the scoring, it's tough for the defense to prepare.
Yeah, no doubt. Got a couple of groans from the fans this early on. Didn't like that call. I'm sure they got a better look at it from up here than Tom Singh did from 2 foot away.
Yeah.
Might have a free throw competition break out here in the first half if we don't tighten up some of these fouls.
Yeah, both teams are going to be in the bonus in the next 2. Not even at the end of 1 yet.
Silva up top to Harris. Little weave. And turnover by Luther. Nice take. That's what Pawnee's going to have to do if they do get numbers or advantage in transition. That way that Luther can't set up in their pressure. And so good take there by 25 McCarthy Speak Thunder that time.
Go attack and break the pressure. I mean, the tendency Luther has to get out of it eventually if they're giving up easy buckets on the back end of it. But this is part of the game where we struggle with it with my boys in the quarter situations. Luther could have held for 1 and 13-10. The worst you could go is 13-10 in the second quarter. But we talk about it every day in the quarter situations. Let's see what they do in this last 30 seconds of the quarter, if they go for 1 or see what they do here.
Nice look inside. But you would say, Coach Miller, it would be probably smart for Luther with the 2-point lead to probably hold for the last shot here. Little weave out top. She did travel right there in front of Mark. Might have been a kickball too. I think they felt like they blew their whistles already too much for the corner. Wow, deep 3 out top. Well, that's probably not the shot that you want.
I know, that's what I'm saying. The Luther girls didn't have a sense of the time, the situation and stuff like that. We struggle. We're 16 games in, and our end-of-court situation is not where they need to be. I mean, that's a major part of the game, I think, the way you score, go into the next quarter and stuff like that. And we practice it daily, and we don't do a very good job of getting into something to get a good shot off. But they did a good job of not turning it and getting the last shot attempt, and they're going to get the ball the second half or second quarter. So it's end of quarter situations are important to this game.
Well, with that being said, we will go to the second quarter. Luther leads Pawnee 13-11. We'll be back shortly on Squirtle.
Big Finish 2020 is on at Johnson's of Kingfisher. Hi, it's Jeff Johnson. Find a deal in December on remaining 2020 Ram 1500s at johnsonsofkingfisher.com. Like our new Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cabs. Thinking of a new truck? Then you owe yourself to experience the best and unequaled ride and control that Ram has to offer during the Big Finish event. Deals in December? See them at Johnson's of Kingfisher, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram. A dealership you'll find only in a place like Kingfisher. Same name,
same family,
since 1927.
So Luther will have possession, start the second quarter with the 2-point lead. Silva with the look inside. Probably not a very smart pass there, Silva.
That's another lost art in basketball is post feeds. I mean, when you see kids trying to make entry passes and stuff like that, don't dribble, create a better angle and stuff like that. I see teams all around the state of Oklahoma have a hard time getting the ball to the post players, and they get frustrated. But you got to have guards that can be able to make passes to them.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And that's frustrating at all levels. I get to watch my wife's college team struggle with that too as well. So,
nice inbounds play right there.
Yeah, it was. Luther takes the lead 15-11. Here's Pawnee taking advantage of that pressure. Looked like she got bumped, but Ailey Stevens was there to clean it up. back and forth now. 15-13, Luther leads with 7:20 to go here in the half.
You see both teams settling in and getting a better flow of the game. It's always tough coming in early morning game like this. It's beneficial for the playoffs because you may play some 1 o'clock, 1:30 games and stuff like that. But it's a tough place to play, and I think the teams are settling down and getting comfortable with the surroundings of this big Stride Center facility.
Yeah, we talked in depth about that yesterday, Coach Miller, on what I think is a great opportunity, how this festival lines up late in the year, either after playoff brackets have come out for some of the smaller schools, or like just before playoff brackets come out for 2As and 3As that play in this. And then, you've got the big arena. Usually you've got the matchups that maybe you don't commonly play. I know since you and Cash and host, you guys typically play a lot, and that's always a good team and two good teams you're going to play against, girls and boys. But you get these creative matchups from across the state, and I think it's, like Hooker always comes. And I think a lot of reason why Coach Kerr, Coach Stalder bring their kids here is because they know if they get to where they want to get to, they're probably going to play here in area.
It's probably be an area final site and stuff like that. And just get – you got a lot of background behind the goals and stuff like that. It's a tough place to get for shooters to shoot. But, if you can shoot a basketball, you can shoot it in the barn, you can shoot it in here. So it's people use that as an excuse a lot. But if you can shoot a basketball, you can probably shoot it anywhere.
Haley Stevens hits 1 of 2 free throws to cut the deficit down to 1. Haley's having a very productive first half for Pawnee.
That's good basketball right there. Luther got to the short corner, then the high post girl dived to the basket. That's the universal way people try to attack the zone, get the ball to the short corner, or get the ball in the high post. They're doing a good job attacking Pawnee's 2-1-2 zone.
Haven't seen the same. I was just about to say we haven't seen the same amount of turnovers from Pawnee, and then the girl almost dribbles it off her foot. And Silva with the foul. Silva kind of gets a little over anxious. Couldn't remember if that was her second or her third. So Destiny Dunbar will be shooting these free throws, a 5'1" senior for Pawnee.
I don't know how deep Pawnee is. This pressure is going to have to back off a little bit. They're going to be in some foul trouble and have to go to their bench a little bit or call the pressure off a little bit, because I don't think they could. 2 more fouls. Pawnee's in the double bonus, and their pressure may back off a little bit.
Yeah. That's one thing you got to consider if you're going to decide to be a team that does press or, wants to create pressure, which you see that a lot nowadays, just like we talked about earlier, how people play. But if you don't have that depth, like Coach Miller mentioned, it can kind of take you out of your game plan a lot of times. As we're talking, Pawnee has tied it up at 15, and Pawnee's doing it kind of the easy way at the free throw line, and some easy inside shots. Big 3 right there by Lindsey Coleman, the senior. It's an 18-15 lead now for Luther. It looked like a travel almost. Much better job on offense there by Pawnee, being very patient, moving the ball around the perimeter, and they've got obviously the post girl Stevens inside. She's got that sizable advantage. Just a little bit of a kind of lackadaisical lob throw.
They fronted her right there. No backside help. They make a good pass there. I think she has an easy bucket. Pawnee has to front the post. They're too small to play behind. I think if Pawnee keeps looking inside, that's where their advantage is at in this game.
Corner 3 for number 10. Jaylee Dvorak was long, and Pawnee rebounds and misses another little short putback, and Luther comes down to the other end. 3 left side for number 4, Harley Jones. Transition opportunity for Pawnee. Good defense there by Silva. Silva's got her hands on everything.
She has 2 fouls. That's pretty risky right there, reaching in. Could have been her third, and she's probably done for the rest of the first half. I think she's from just watching, I don't know much about Luther, I think she's their best player on both ends.
Short, kind of a deep 2-pointer by Bella Wilson. That looked like a kind of a tough shot. She knocks it down, the senior. So Luther now leads 18-17. This game's been really a pretty clean game other than a lot of fouls. sometimes, and Corey, you get to watch a lot of basketball. The way the style of basketball has changed, sometimes it just kind of feels like there's not a real good flow to the game. There's a lot of messiness almost.
Yeah, there's a lot of dribbling and going one-on-one and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I mean, it's a different game. I mean, the ball security, kids don't value the basketball as much as they should. I mean, it's a lot has changed, but it's still, if you put the ball in the hole, you're going to be a good ball club.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
And guard and stuff like that. But there's a lot of good teams out there, and it's just the brand of basketball is a little different.
Well, and I always tell people this, the new brand and style, in all honesty, when it's clicking is, in my opinion, more fun to watch, but it allows for some really ugly games, You want to watch the Thunder last night. I think they give up 147 to the KD Nets and stuff like that, but it's As we're talking, Luther had a couple opportunities on their end of the floor, and we're short on a little jumper and then short on a three from the corner. But we've got a foul again on Luther's Darcy Roy, and so that'll put Pawnee back to the free throw line. And that's kind of – Pawnee has kind of lived and died from easy baskets around the goal and shooting a lot of free throws here early in the first half. Looks like we have a timeout, 30-second timeout. So we have a timeout on the floor for Luther. We'll take the timeout with them. We'll be back shortly on the Enid Downtown Basketball Festival, sponsored by Squirtle.
FloorTech proudly serves schools across the state of Oklahoma with their gym floor and janitorial supply needs.
At Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, we've helped a lot of people, and our goal was to treat each and every person like a friend. And as a friend, we've got your back, always. We understand what you're going through. Being lawyers is what we do, but it's not all that we are. We care. We'll stand beside you throughout the entire legal process, not just as lawyers, but as your friends. We are Maples Nixon Diesel Horse, and we are here to help.
Back to action here with 3:59 to go in the second quarter. The Luther leads 18-7 over Pawnee. First of 1-on-1 free throw is down and good by Destiny Dunbar. Got to thank Sean Weibling for coming and helping out do PA. He comes every year and does this event, and he does it on his own time, and he's as good as a PA guy. Now, that's kind of a lost art too. You don't go a lot of places and see great PA guys anymore, but he does a heck of a job.
He was a good coach at Garber
a
couple years ago, and he left Garber in administration there. And like I said, a lot of things Coach Hardaway does most of the scheduling, gets in the teams pairing and stuff like that. And, but a lot of volunteer work goes on to get this thing where it is, and this is a good event, and hopefully it continues to grow throughout the years.
Yeah, big three there by Kuhlman, and then just after she hits the three, she comes and makes her own little 5-0 run by getting a steal and knocking down the layup. So Luther's extend their lead to 23-19. A quick foul, though.
Luther's really good when they score the basketball. They can get set up under pressure. When they don't score offensively, they got to get back in their half-court defense. But when they score, their press is giving Pawnee fits right now.
I'll tell you one thing. They have Haley Kuhlman listed as 5'6", and she looks bigger or taller than that to me.
Yeah, she looks 5'10", 5'9", 5'10".
Freshman girl, too, listed. Her looks like she's got 22. Lindsay's probably an older sister of hers, and they have her listed at 5'7". She looks every bit as tall as her. So Bella Wilson to the free throw line. Misses the first and knocks down the second, so 23-20 with 3:22 to go in the second quarter. Has Pawnee been in the 1-3-1, or did they just make that adjustment?
Pawnee's just been in that 2-3, the 2-1-2 the whole game. But
Shanti Silva with a nice-looking shot from the perimeter. And the one thing that you'll notice about Tom and Mark and Dakota is they will call fouls.
They'll call it tight.
Yep. So if you're not used to that, then you're going to be shooting a lot of free throws, especially a team like Luther that's used to pressing. So. And that's kind of part of what you said, kind of the gamesmanship and the coaching. You're at some point you're going to have to make an adjustment.
Make an adjustment, call it off, or just back it up a little bit. And kids got to be smart enough to know not to foul in those situations. But it's hard to turn the heat off that you're putting on when you're giving them problems.
Destiny Dunbar there knocks down both free throws. I believe that's the first time Pawnee has hit both of their free throws. They've been coming up short on one or two free throws every time. A deep three in the corner by Rowe. Rolls in and out. Pawnee with the rebound. Speak Thunder up the floor, and there's Silva again. We'll have a jump ball, and that's going to belong to Luther. So I'm not keeping track of turnovers, but I'm going to guess that Pawnee has somewhere in the realm of at least double-digit turnovers or close to so far in this first half. You're right about Luther. They do a good job of moving the ball. And then right when I say that, they turn it over.
Going inside out, making sure a post player gets a touch on it. I mean, the three-pointers versus zone is a lot easier to take when the ball touches inside or dribble penetration like that to kick to shooters. I mean, if you just play catch on the perimeter, the zone can adjust and match and stuff like that. You got to attack it through gaps, penetration, getting the ball to short corner, high post. And Luther's doing a decent job attacking Pawnee's zone right now.
Yeah, and Coach, talk a little bit about the evolution of different types of zone defense, too, because that's changed a lot. You know, it used to be traditionally how zones matched up to an offense. You know, now you're gapping it, you're spreading out, you're getting bigger. You can move the zone up and create pressure with it. Kind of talk a little bit about that.
That's one thing. I've probably made my best hire as assistant coach this offseason with Coach Beckman coming back and helping me. And,
yeah, he's a pretty good one.
And you're probably not a better assistant coach in the state of Oklahoma right now. I mean, he's a guru at that gap zone defense, and I just sort of turned it over to him, let him do what he wants defensively. And we got the kids. I mean, I'm not a zone guy, but Coach Beckman came in, and I'm getting to that way and stuff like that. But Coach Beckman does a great job coaching the zone defense and getting the kids in the right spot. It's a zone where you got to move and react, and you got to hustle to get to spots, take people away. And like I said, his knowledge and the knowledge of the game of basketball has been a tremendous asset to my staff and our kids this year. And I can't thank him enough getting out of the oil field to coming back and helping me this year.
Well, he's a guy just in general. I know myself, I played Silva. As Silva hits a three, the lead extends 32-24. Just seeing him on the sideline back at Chisholm again, it's just something to write about that. You know what I mean?
He's a legend out there. I mean, you see Dakota's played for him, and
well, like Hardaway last night. You know, I mean, we consider Coach Beckman. You know, he coached against us forever, so it's a really cool opportunity for Hardaway to get a play against him and
try to bring some tradition and stuff back to Chisholm and got him involved and stuff like that. So he's been a major asset to I mean, I bet you there's Fight Wickert's dad. I know Beckman coached his dad, Parker Warnock's dad.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so it's coming full term, and he calls the kids sometimes by their dad's name because he can't remember names very much. But he's been a great asset to us, and I just thank him for coming. And his knowledge of the game. He's a teacher of the game of basketball, and he's a fiery guy. I mean, he hadn't changed from 25 years ago with his mannerism, how he talks to kids during practice. It's a different day and age, but he's learning, and I think me and him got COVID about the same time over Christmas break, so that was a little worrisome for us and him, but we made it through it, and just like I said, it's been a big asset to have Coach Beckman on the bench for us this year.
Well, it was fun. I'll tell you, you guys do – the one thing you guys do, and you're seeing this a lot more too, is you talked about being – more of a man guy. But what I think, too, not only is offense evolving, but you're seeing a lot of traditional coaching styles change where people will throw a lot of things at you. Like you guys last night, I noticed, were running a little bit of triangle and two at times. You were running some of the 2-3 that was just a little bit more traditional, and you were bumping it up and running some pressures out of it. And you see that a lot now out of teams where it used to just be we're going to run a 2-3 or a 3-2 or a 1-3-1. And
I think you got to keep people off balance and make adjustments to your personnel and stuff like that. We got a lot of kids that are athletic, and we got some length and stuff like that. We can play passing lanes and do a lot of different things. But we did triangle and two, but there's a couple times we try to take the two kids away, then we let Tishner wide open and stuff like that. So, I mean, Cashin's a hard team to jump because they got 5 guys that could score.
Well, you guys did a good job yesterday in that game.
We had a good game plan. Kids executed, and like I said, we caught Cashin on an off night. We took advantage of it. But this game's picking up a little bit. The ball's going in the hole a little bit more, and then you see Luther hit back-to-back three-pointers. So, I mean, they're getting comfortable, and this pace of this game's getting a lot better. Yeah,
as we were talking, Silva hit 2 threes, and that was Bailey Wilds there. Bailey Wilds, the senior guard that averages 8.5 a game, finally gets going, and Luther extends their lead to 11. Good timeout there by Martin to help a lot of times you don't see officials stop play, and Looks like she may have gotten
a groin or something. It looked like a little
elbow.
It was a little incidental contact. I think she may have hurt her elbow on the fall and stuff like that, but I seen it happen. Just a little incidental contact. Hopefully she's okay.
And we have our trainer here. You guys do, right?
I haven't seen.
I think she's right behind the.
Yeah, Hannah's over there on the side. So
Hannah does a good job.
Hannah does a good job for your brother. I think she your brother and stuff like that. So, like I said, Doc Dieselhorst, I thank him for looking at my daughter when she hurt her shoulder in a wakeboarding accident. I called him.
I remember when you texted me, I was like, he doesn't care. You can call him anytime. So.
And the things he does for the coaches of Oklahoma, and I'm ready to get back to the coaches clinic and play in his golf tournament.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun. And there you go, just as you were talking about Tierney Westermeyer, Luther's really kind of now taking advantage of all the turnovers, and now they're getting some perimeter shots to go down, and this lead's kind of ballooned for him here right before the half. 40 points, a lot of points and a half for a girls' game.
Or any game.
Yeah, exactly.
40 points and a half is a good 16 minutes of basketball.
Good look, backside to Bella Wilson. Misses the first, but trying to pad her rebounding stats. The putback good by Haley Stevens. So after one full half of play, first half of many halves to come. I know the guys helping us here are excited about all the halves we have coming up, but Luther takes a 40-29 lead at halftime. And I'll tell you what, guys, we're going to make this really simple. We're going to run a bunch of commercials. We're going to take care of all of our advertisers, and we'll be back about a minute to go before the second half.
As a local, member-owned electric cooperative, Cimarron Electric is committed to providing the highest quality of service at a reasonable price. We're dedicated to serving our member owners with integrity, accountability, innovation, and a commitment to community. For more information, call or visit our website. Cimarron Electric Cooperative, serving Northwest Oklahoma since 1936 and powering the needs of a new generation.
Eagle Propane of Hennessy is proud to support all of our area high school athletes. Let them service all of your propane needs. They have the experience to handle your needs large and small. Find out what they can do for you by calling 405-853-4445. Eagle Propane is at the corner of Highways 81 and 51 on the north side of Hennessy. They are proud to service the Hennessy, Enid, and Kingfisher areas for all of your propane needs. Dr. Matt Dieselhorst at Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics can help you get game day ready. Dr. Dieselhorst works with athletes of all ages, taking a coordinated approach to accelerate return to play and maximize athletic performance. His work with pros in sports training, injury prevention, bracing, functional rehabilitation, and imaging works seamlessly with his medical and surgical expertise. Get started by going to Dieselhorst Sports and Orthopedics. Let Dr. Matt Dieselhorst get you back on the field, backing all Oklahoma athletes on the field and off. Planning an auction? Look no further than JKJ Real Estate and Auction Company to sell your real estate, farm machinery, vehicles, and equipment. Contact Keith James and Jerry Junkie in Enid, Lon Sturgeon in Mino, Doug Walker in Crescent, and Chad Grebb in Helena, or LD Rapp in Wakita. Let their hard-working and experienced staff conduct a successful auction for you. Since 1968, JKJ Auction and Real Estate has been helping you say sold at 1301 East Willow in Enid, 580-233-9800, and jkjauction.com.
Physical Therapy Central is proud to be keeping you in the game of life. Now with a convenient location in Kingfisher. Get back to the game of life faster with PT Central.
Finally, it's time to get that driver's license. But which option to choose? The DMV with the long lines, the not-so-pleasant desk clerk.
That's the way it has to be.
And taking off work and still not getting in.
This office is now closed.
Or go to Cowboy Driving Academy. With a relaxed atmosphere, they make it convenient for you whether it's after hours, on holidays, or even inclement weather. For details, go to cowboydriving.com. Cowboy Driving Academy. They keep you moving.
Well, isn't that nice?
Northwest Oklahoma is Croft country, and there's no better way to get around it than a vehicle from Croft Chevrolet Buick GMC at 401 East Oklahoma in Alva. They've got the best trucks in the road or in the field, the Chevy Silverados and GMC Sierras. The 2021s are here, and you'll find great deals as they move out the 2020 models. Not to mention a great selection of pre-owned cars and trucks. Go to CroftChevrolet.com and find your next vehicle. It's always better in the country. Croft Chevrolet Buick GMC, 401 East Oklahoma in Alva.
Wiggins Auctioneers is a full-service auction company well-versed in selling farm and range land, minerals, commercial and residential properties, as well as equipment, estate, and trust liquidations. In order to better serve our clients, Wiggins Realty offers conventional for-sale listings as well as buyer representation. Whether buying or selling, auction or conventional, we want to be your trusted company. Wiggins Auctioneers, 3 generations strong and setting the standard since 1963.
Our middle daughter actually has a heart defect, and we didn't find that out until we found out when she was about 12 she had a genetic disorder. She has 2 right coronary arteries and no left. Luckily to this day she hasn't had any symptoms, but you know, there's always that chance that something will happen, and it's kind of scary. She has to visit the cardiologist every once in a while, more often than you and I definitely would, just to get CAT scans and MRIs to make sure everything is still going the way it's supposed to go. But every year when that happens, who knows what you're going to find. I'm extremely excited about the All of Us research program. I wanted to participate not only because I wanted more cardiology research for my daughter and for our family, but also it's definitely a huge step in the right direction that we've been waiting for a long time.
Is your school or booster club looking for ways to fundraise? Let Downtown Threads create a custom website to showcase all your school apparel. You pick the design and the garment, we do the rest. We will handle all the payments and cut you one check when the website is closed. Call today, 580-237-7060. Downtown Threads, proudly supporting all local high school athletes.
Tractors, trucks, equipment, industrial, vehicles, trailers. You'll find it all at the Spring Consignment Auction, Monday, April 5th at 10 a.m. at Sturgeon's Truck and Tractor Sales in Mino. Area farmers, lending institutions, and Sturgeon Tractor are bringing hundreds of pieces of farm and industrial equipment, trucks, trailers, and more to Mino for their big spring sale. The auction is Monday, April 5th at 10 a.m. at Sturgeon's Truck and Tractor Sales on East Highway 412 in Mino. Get details at sturgeonscorner.com. Come prepared to buy. With over 24 flavors of iced tea, HTO is your new destination for the best premium water and iced tea in all of Oklahoma. Offering around 500 drink combinations and half-price tea during happy hour, this is your ultimate tea playground. With a location open in Ardmore and numerous locations coming soon, including the Village in South Oklahoma City, be sure to stop by HTO and experience the best tea you've ever sipped on.
There yet to Lane's tea.
Welcome back here to the second half with Luther leading 40-29, and Coach Miller was just actually mentioned HTO. If you happen to be tuning in, that says coming this fall. They're actually already open, so we need to change that graphic. But if you happen to be in the Oklahoma City area, it's a friend of mine that owns that, and I'm not just saying this because he's a friend of mine, but I'm not even a tea fan. It's some of the best stuff I've ever drank.
I've been meaning to get down to see Lane, and I haven't yet, but I told him I'd be down there before the season's over. So, yeah, go see Lane at HTOT and enjoy some of the best tea in the state of Oklahoma.
Oh, it is by far, and it's hard to explain. I'll tell people, they got 27 different flavors. They have sweet and unsweet, and then they have caffeine and caffeine-free, and then they also they normally have a fruit bar, but because of COVID they can't have that, but they have fruit available to you. So it's like a salad bar type setup where you get your tea and then you get whatever fruit you want with it, and so it's a pretty cool little setup. And you can obviously buy gallons and half gallons, etc. So
Pawnee's doing a good job. I mean, they were down 13, game was getting away from them, and they got it back under double digits here. Here's a free throw by Stevens to get it to an 8-point game. So buckle in. Hopefully we got a good, exciting second half.
No doubt. Like you said, take advantage of the inside size advantage, and obviously they've done that because Haley Stevens now with her 12th point, actually 13th point. Leading scorers so far, Luther, like we talked about, very balanced. Shante Silva with 8, we mentioned. Westermeyer with 7, and Bailey Wilds has hit a couple threes with 6. And on the other side of the floor, it's really been about Stevens and Speak Thunder, as Stevens has 12 now, and Speak Thunder with 9. It's 40-32. Luther leads early in the second half. Corner 3 by Bailey Wilds. Bailey hit a couple of threes, and even that shot looked pretty good, a lot better than some of the early shots. And like we have talked about, I think it takes just a little bit to kind of get used to the shooting backdrop in here, and then you see shooters get a little more comfortable as the game goes along. Good drive and kick.
Silva's real athletic off the bounce. I mean, she's pretty savvy about the game. She understands the nuances of the game to get her teammates open, and great penetration and spit right there for her open 3.
And Wilds look very comfortable with that 3, even past the NBA line. Luther extends their lead back to double digits at 43-32 with 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Luther staying very active with their little kind of dribble weave that they're doing.
They got away with a little push there.
And Pawnee kind of turns the tides and gets a turnover. That corner shot for Jaylee Dvorak is just short. Good rebound by Speak Thunder, and knocks it home for Pawnee. So Speak Thunder and Stevens are continuing to lead the way for Pawnee and keeping them in this game.
Oh, nice little left-handed floater in the lane.
I like Silva's game. Silva's one of those kids. It's a couple things going against her. Obviously, one being her size, which is really unfortunate, and also being at a smaller town. But she's a kid you could see playing at the next level just because she's kind of got the it factor. She's kind of long-armed, good athlete. She's quick, first step.
We've seen she's definitely a next level player just because her speed and she seems very. I mean, her basketball IQ seems very sharp. And she can knock down open jump shots, and she didn't do it right there. But she's hit 3 threes through 3 quarters so far.
As Coach Miller just said, Silva just a little short on this last 3. But Luther will gain possession and inbound underneath. The 11-point lead still with 4:30 to go here in the third quarter. And Kuhlman just short. Pawnee with the rebound. Luther is kind of backing off a little bit with their pressure some. I don't know if that was because it was a miss, but drive left side by number 13, Carly Lieb. And Stevens kind of commits the kind of silly foul. You hate to see that so far away from the basket.
I don't know. Sometimes big post players they can get beat on all night. And just guys can hammer them and stuff like that, and they get the tickiest tag fouls on the other end. It seems like post players get picked on a lot on the fouls, and I thought she just used her length and had great position and tipped it back to herself, but Mark Martin saw it otherwise.
Jump ball there. You see a lot of jump balls, and I'll be honest with you, this is about the second or third one of this game, but man, that should be a stat you have to mark down in girls basketball because there's about 10 of them a game nowadays.
That's one of the greatest rule changes they made, going to the alternating possession. We'd be here all day.
Oh my gosh.
Throw up every time there was a jump ball.
Yeah, nice dribble drive there by Destiny Dunbar, and she'll go to the free throw line. So Pawnee staying active even though they're trailing here by 10. They keep kind of chipping away a little bit here and there, and if they can continue to execute the plan that they have and hopefully don't turn the ball over and Luther kind of misses some from the perimeter, I think they can make this a close game.
They're scoring with the clock not running. If they could go to the free throw line, continue to knock free throws, they could chip away this game without losing any time on the game clock.
And Dunbar hits both free throws. Now Dunbar, all of her points have come from the free throw line today. Lead back down to 9. Right side, number 40. Addison Harris knocks down the 3, deep 3. 48-36. Just as I talked about hoping they'd miss some outside shots, they knocked down a 3. This is the same situation, though. Luther has been putting Pawnee to the free throw line, and 3, probably not as many fouls as they had early on in that first quarter, but already 3 team fouls with 3.5 to go here in the third quarter. I think that's a third foul there on a Haley Kuhlman. Leap's just going to take it all the way to the rim. Nobody stepped over and got in front of her, and so looks like we're going to go back to the free throw line. Foul on number 2, Bailey Wilds.
Called it on the ground. I mean, she just split 4 Luther defenders and went one into the other without picking up the dribble.
Pawnee will inbound underneath, trailing by 12 with 3:20 to go in the third quarter. Right side, Speak Thunder deep on the three-point shot, and Luther comes the other way. Silva out top, right side to Addison Harris for 3, just short. There's my jump ball.
There's your another.
Jump ball down low. The ball will go back to Pawnee, so Pawnee will have the ball underneath. I'm sorry, Luther will have the ball underneath. Ooh, not a very good pass by Silva there.
Once you start, we're going to have these by the handful now.
That's going to be a foul by Wilds.
That's another thing. Use the sideline as extra defender. Beat her one step to the sideline, and she has nowhere to go. I mean, she'll run out of bounds. So just beat her 2 more steps, and you got her dead to rights. And that's what you see. A lot of kids bring the ball up the sideline. You keep the ball in the center of the floor where they got more room to work. But as a defender, you got to use that sideline as an extra defender, and she has nowhere to go if she keeps dribbling up the sideline.
Yeah, Wilds is a good enough athlete, too, like you said, to at least get up there and cut her off, too. But kind of a little bit lazy defense. That happens, too. He's probably a little bit tired. A foul that's the 5th team foul for Luther. Now, Luther's probably going to be in the same situation where they're going to be putting Pawnee to the free throw line. Good dribble drive by Lieb, just a freshman. And, man, she's a little quicker, kind of deceptively quick with the ball when she's dribbling.
Yeah, that was very good. I mean, dribble penalty. She picked up Silva's 3rd, and I think if they get Silva her 4th, she got to go to bench. It'll be interesting to see what Luther can do on the offensive end. But if you don't convert on these the free throws, it's irrelevant.
First free throw missed long, but Lieb will knock down the 2nd. The lead now 11 for Luther. It's Luther in the front court. Darcy Roy out top to Addison Harris. Harris right side to Roy, and they're playing a little 2-man game over in this corner.
Spacing wasn't very good there.
Sure was, and Silva out top. Silva's going to get him set up right. Harris left side drive and kick. Be a reaching foul. That's going to be a foul on number 20, Bella Wilson. So kind of talking a little bit about these coaches. Johnny Vick has had a very successful year. I know Luther's always been a team that has made some runs through the regionals into the first couple of rounds of area the last few years. Won a lot of basketball games. And on the other side, we have a newer coach with Pawnee, Richard Spears. And I'm actually pretty familiar with Richard. Played high school basketball against him, and he was on a team that lost in the state championship game to Millwood my senior year. But Richard was a heck of a high school basketball player from Pawnee, as well as a very good college player at OBU, and I believe he was on OBU's national championship team.
Okay, that was probably
Hawkins.
Well, yeah, Hawkins. Was Clay Martin on that team, the NFL referee and stuff like that. You see on Sundays in the NFL, the head coach of Jinx. I mean, that's OBA with Hoffman, and then when I was at Northwestern, that was in OIC and stuff like that. That was always a tough matchup. Go to Shawnee and play OBU. So, I mean, you see a lot of guys that in the coaching profession have played collegiately or dabbled in the high school level. So it's good to have students of the game and people that know the game of basketball coaching these young players. And I always thought it'd be I never would want to go to my alma mater and coach. I think that'd be a tough situation, and I would never want to go to Winoka. And I'd like to send my condolences out to my community and stuff like that. We had a horrific accident Friday.
I know. I heard about that.
I lost a classmate, was a firefighter, and just prayers and thoughts to the families that was affected in the tragedy of Winoka and the house fire, and the people inside that perished, and the 2 firefighters also. So just prayers and thoughts to the people of Winoka and the families involved.
Yeah, and, we have a lot of people in our network in this area of the state, so there's probably people out there that are listening that, are watching this. I say listening a lot. It's a watching type deal. Thank the Lord they can watch because they have to listen to you and I the whole time. But yeah, so thoughts and prayers like Coach Miller said to the community. Everybody out in this area is like a big family, and so the Squirtle family's thinking about you too as well. So
I appreciate that. And like I said, Lonnie Bowler, the fire chief of Winoka, is a high school classmate of mine. And like I said, you couldn't ask for a better guy, and like I said, the community of Winoka will do anytime adversity hits. I mean, people of the city of Winoka come together, rally around each other. We'll get through these tough times together.
Yeah, you bet. So number 22 for Luther, Lindsey Coleman, goes to the line, and she was fouled underneath, misses the front end of her first 2 shots. So really, kind of this third quarter's gone about how that second quarter really went. Luther's kind of kept on to their double-digit lead, 48-38. Now Pawnee does not block out, unfortunately. And number 4, Harley Jones, with a nice move and an easy bucket to put Luther back up by 12.
I seen that. I think Kyle Johnson told him it was 2 shots the other day. I think it was the first game of the year, or the first game of the session. I think he called a 2-shot on an and-1. And
I felt bad for Pearson.
He had nothing to do. I don't know if you count the bucket and play on, or just it's.
I would have gave him the ball out of bounds, not counted the basket. You know what I mean?
That's pretty hard when the official says 2 shots. You know. Step in to do it.
I know.
And probably the right thing to do was just to give the offensive rebound out of bounds, not reward the bucket.
Yeah.
But it was a tough break for Ringwood and Coach Pearson. I don't think it had any factor in the outcome of the game.
No.
But it's just an unfortunate situation I was watching during my health and fitness class. So
Tom and I were trying to figure out what was going on. So as we were talking, Haley Stevens on the other end with the easy bucket. So now a 10-point game here with 34 seconds left before the end of the third quarter. And you'd think Luther would probably have the ball for the last shot here with the 10-point lead.
You always look at the alternating possession. Luther will have the next possession to start the fourth quarter. So you get basically back-to-back possessions here. And you go for one, get a good shot. And the worst you do go in the fourth is up 10. The best you do is up 13. So important possession here.
Ooh.
Hopefully get a shot with maybe 5 or 6 seconds up on the court, get a chance to go get an offensive rebound and finish the quarter on a high note.
Traveled. They got lucky there because Addison Harris threw a very ill-advised pass. They kept possession of it. It looks like that's what Luther's plan is now with 5 seconds left in the half. Now 2. Coleman better put it up. That's good defense there by Speak Thunder. Well, since we didn't get to run very many commercials there because we were live in action, we will take it to the end of the third quarter. We'll take a break. We'll pay some bills, and we'll be back shortly on the Enid Downtown Festival on Squirtle.
Eubank Haney Law Firm is proud to be a fan of high school sports. Andrew Eubank and Caleb Haney believe that clients deserve better. At the end of the day, that's how they measure true success. Their experience, confidence, and integrity ensures that your case will be handled in a reasonable, efficient manner, regardless of the legal situation you are facing. Get out of line and come to Eubank Haney Law Firm in Enid, Fairview, and Laverne. Call 580-234-4334 when winning is everything. Oklahoma Ag Transports would like to wish the Lomega Raiders and Lady Raiders and all of the athletes good luck in today's games. Everyone at Oklahoma Ag Transports love to support high school sports and are proud of the coaches and players and all of their hard work and dedication. Winning is always the goal, but participation is the key. Every individual is important, but team effort will bring success. Good luck to all of the athletes, especially the Lomega Raiders and Lady Raiders. Everybody at Oklahoma Ag Transports is behind you.
Welcome back to the Enid Downtown Festival on Squirtle. Luther leads by 10 points here going into the fourth quarter, and will have the ball and have the possession. And like we talked about, it looked like that was Luther's plan, getting the arrow coming out in the fourth. Now, Coach, talk about maybe what you think are the keys here in the fourth quarter for both these teams, having watched 3 quarters. I
think Luther has to keep doing what they're doing, applying pressure, and you got a double-digit lead, but you just got to continue to do what you do best and try not to. You need to play to win, not to lose. You don't need to go away from what you've been doing to be able to get this 10-point advantage. But Pawnee needs to do a better job of handling the basketball. You see a turnover there. That's a risky pass going 94 feet and stuff like that. But they got to be able to handle the basketball, get the ball inside, and create some advantage. That's the best place they got to score right now is inside. But you're going to have to start doing some things to maybe try to speed Luther up, try to get some steals and stuff like that. But a 10-point lead going into the fourth, Luther is feeling pretty confident about themselves.
Nice look by Silva, man. I'm a little bit – I think that should not have been Pawnee's ball because didn't Luther get the arrow coming out of the corner?
We had another jump ball right down the corner. Now we had 3 so far in this quarter, so it was right.
I didn't even see that. I made the comment about there not being very many jump balls, and since I said that, there's been 20. Pawnee will inbound trailing by 10. It'll be big to get a bucket here to cut it down into single digits. A little sloppy there. Speak Thunder out front, drives, loses control of it. It'll be Pawnee's ball underneath. Luther does a good job, too, not only in the pressure side of things, but also getting their hands on the ball.
Yeah, Luther's active. I mean, they're athletic from 1 through 5 spots, and they do a good job of what they do, and you see they're well coached at it, and they'll continue applying pressure the rest of the game.
That's going to be an illegal screen. Yeah, good call by Tom.
That's on the offensive girl. She's got to let her teammate get set and set a good screen. She got the basketball, went too fast, and her teammate going to set the screen wasn't in the right position to set the screen, so you have an illegal screen.
Luther's ball again. They're going to be content with this perimeter kind of weave that they've been running most of the game. Nice look inside from Addison to Harley Jones, but her shot, she might have gotten bumped a little bit, was a little long. The corner 3 by Westermeyer is long, but Addison Harris on the rebound. She bumps it off the glass a little deep. Westermeyer inside, shoots it over the other side of the rim, and now Pawnee will advance the ball down the floor.
This may be a big – I think that's Silva's 4th. I think she may have to go to the bench right now and see if Pawnee can dive into this lead or get into this lead a little bit more with her on the bench. I think she has to go to the bench if that's her 4th.
Yeah, I think it is 4th foul. And I'll tell you what, credit to Destiny Dunbar. She has spent a bunch of time at the free throw line. Tell the senior is a smart player. She knocks the free throw down. It's 50-41, and now we have a substitution in the game. Subbing in the game will be number 32, Haley Coleman. The freshman that is not 5'6", I can tell you that. I know what a 5'6" girl looks like. So Dunbar knocks down both free throws, and the lead shrinks to 8 with 6:20 to go here in the left in the game. Good job getting their hands in the passing lane by Pawnee. Silva on the left side. Doesn't have a lot to do with it and kicks it back out up top to Addison Harris. Harris will dribble back out top to set the offense. And Luther just looks a little out of sorts right now. Right side to Silva. Silva pulls up jumper. Good shot.
Big bucket to get it back to double digits, and just one of those things where, like I said, Pawnee has a chance to get back in this ball game right now, and Luther's doing a good job keeping them at bay.
Big 3 here for Speak Thunder if it can go down. Nice shot. Big 3 by Speak Thunder, and Pawnee cuts the lead to 7. Timeout on the floor by Richard Spears. We will take a timeout with him. We'll be back shortly on the Enid Downtown Festival presented by Squirtle.
For almost a century, Sooner Co-op has been at the heart of the communities they serve. In O'Keene, Fairview, Loyal, Hitchcock, and Homestead, Sooner Co-op has been a big part of the lives of area farmers, ranchers, and residents. Grain handling, fertilizer, farm and ranch supplies, fuel, tire service, and the convenience store in Fairview. The Sooner Co-op is proud to serve Blaine, Major, and Kingfisher counties for almost 100 years and looks forward to 100 more. Sooner Co-op is proud of our kids, whether a Whippet, Jacket, or a Raider. Find them online at SoonerCoop.com.
The team of experienced and caring professionals at Garland Road Nursing and Rehabilitation Center is dedicated to providing you or your loved one with comprehensive, personalized, compassionate care. We offer short-term and long-term care and inpatient-outpatient rehabilitation services that can meet your specific needs. Visit our website at garlandroad.com to learn more about our compassionate care.
So welcome back to action here. Luther leads 52-45, and Pawnee has done a fantastic job in this half of cutting into that Luther lead, and now Luther's lead is just 7 with 5:20 to go here in the fourth quarter.
There's a lot of time, 5 minutes to go. I mean, it's a 3-possession ball game. Pawnee has a lot of time left to get back in this ball game.
Silva, kind of an ill-advised turnover there, and Speak Thunder comes back the other way. Nice take by Speak Thunder.
If that's on Silva there, she may be gone. She reached in. She's walking over like she's as her 5th foul.
I mean, that was a really silly foul. That's just her 4th.
Okay, I must have missed one.
I believe maybe one of them was called on somebody else other than her, because the fans, the Luther fan or the Pawnee fans on our side wanted that to be her 5th too as well. Of course, who wouldn't? She's the best player on the floor. Yeah. So first free throw missed by Speak Thunder. This is a big second free throw for her. 2-possession game now. 52-46. 5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. Silva up top to Harley Jones. Harley right side to Westermeyer. Westermeyer drives and kicks to Silva. Silva from 3. Got it. Oh, I was wrong. Even her misses look good.
Yeah, we're going to go down the other end and shoot a double bonus. I mean, chance to cut it to 4. Luther's doing a lot of things allowing Pawnee to get back in this ball game. It's going to be a ball game this final 4:46.
Well, Coach, you talked about it. You talked about the risk of being a team that pressures and commits a lot of fouls. You give a team that maybe you have a big lead on the opportunity to chip away with it if shots aren't falling or you're putting them to the line for easy buckets.
Yeah, Luther hadn't done a very good job this fourth quarter. I mean, they turned the ball over, giving Pawnee some buckets in transition and stuff like that. But 2 big misses right there. We're still at a 6-point ball game.
Yeah, those were big misses there by Haley Stevens. She's actually shot the ball pretty well from the free throw line tonight. Misses both of those there. She could have trimmed that lead to 4. Corner side, Westermeyer. Nice pass by Silva, and she drills the 3. So just like that, Luther hits the 3, and now they're back up by 9. And Luther, good job by Silva. Silva just, you know, we talked about her about being kind of a little bit of a next-level player, and that example right there on that possession, how she was able to, you know, dribble, penetrate, and make a pass. You don't see a lot of girls that can make a play like that.
Yeah, exactly, and she does a good job right there. The ball handler turned her head. She come in from behind and almost got a steal.
The ball's tipped out of bounds, and that ball will go back to Luther. So Pawnee with the turnover. Pawnee had cut the lead to 6, and since cutting it to 6, they have struggled. Missed free throws, turned the ball over a couple times, and now Luther leads by 9. Pass inside to Savannah Nunley. Ball is stolen away. Good hustle by Pawnee, but Westermeyer will recover, and Luther will have it back. Silva kicks left side to Bailey Wilds. Wilds back to Silva in the corner. To Wilds, to Harley Jones. Harley gets the ball knocked away from her by Dunbar. Speak Thunder the other way. So Pawnee will have it in there into the floor with 3:30 to go in the fourth quarter. Speak Thunder dribbling out top. And Westermeyer kind of gets her in a bad spot. Corner pass to Bella Wilson. Back around the corner. Dvorak for 3. Just long, but guess who's there? Guess who's there again? Put back by Haley Stevens.
She does a good job on the offensive glass. She's very good around the basket. Got a nice touch and can score around the basket.
Nice take. Yeah, you're right about Stevens. She does a couple things you don't see a lot. Big girls like to put the ball back down by their waist, and she keeps that ball up really, really high. But big bucket, big answer by Silva. We've been saying that the whole game. And 57-48 now with 3 minutes to go. And, you know.
It's a backbreaker for Pawnee. They score an easy bucket, and they don't get back in training. They give up an easy layup, and it's a backbreaker for them.
We'll take a short little break, and we'll be back here shortly on Squirtle.
As you travel down the road to the gold ball, know that you can always get a slam dunk of a deal at Jansen GMC on North Van Buren in Enid. It's always a smooth ride in a 2020 GMC Sierra, Canyon, Yukon, Terrain, or Acadia. Jansen's offers one of the best lineups of used cars, trucks, crossovers, and SUVs in Enid. Check JansenGMC.com for details. Drive a little, save a lot at Jansen GMC, 2602 North Van Buren in Enid.
We are back. 57-48 lead for Luther with 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. The ball will belong to Pawnee underneath. With 3:05, still quite a bit of time left here to go in the fourth quarter. Well, Coach Miller is going to be here with me for the next game, and then after that I have Coach Mendenhall from OBA will be helping me for a couple of games, and then Tom should be back from his cheer competition. So I don't know if I was supposed to tell anybody that. I guess he told people yesterday. So
that's a good dad. I was a dance dad for 18 years of my life, and I'm glad my daughter's finally in college. I don't got to go to any more dance competitions.
Yeah, no doubt. And I know that can be an expensive hobby too as well.
Yeah,
I hear.
It's not cheap.
I don't have any kids, so I always tell people I got 19 girls from the age of 18 to 23 that I get to look out for and take care of. So dribble right side by Speak Thunder. Not this year, though, because of COVID. I don't ever get to see them. So ball inside. Haley Stevens knocks it down and one. So
there you go. That's her game. I mean, she's got a very nice touch, and she's a great rebounder. She got a knack where the ball's coming off, and she does a great job of attacking the offensive glass and getting a lot of points off that.
Yeah, it's tough to guard in Class A or Class 2A girls. I mean, she's going to be a factor. I could see Pawnee being a team you definitely wouldn't want to match up with in a regional or even like a loser's bracket area if they'd made it that far. They're just, they got a couple of decent pieces, and you can tell Coach Spears does a good job coaching them. But 57-51 now, just a two-possession game, and Luther has the ball. Looks like they're going to take the air out of it a little bit here. When Dunbar quickly fouls, they're going to have to catch up a little bit on some team fouls because they just have their fifth. So Luther will inbound out top. Wonder how many games Tom Singh and Mark Martin have called in their career.
I bet you a lot. I know they refereed some. 94 when I graduated, they were refereeing back then. Yeah. So I bet you it's in the thousands.
Yeah. I can remember Dakota, just a little baby running around at the wheat capital, and in my opinion, and no knock on Tom and Mark because they're Hall of Fame basketball officials. Dakota's probably, in my opinion, the best official in our area. I mean, he is, and and that's age. It's nothing against Mark and Tom. They know the rules and know the game as good as anybody. Dakota can just get around.
I agree with that, and you'd be amazed how fast he got to the state tournament. It's pretty hard for. There's big guys been doing it for 20 years that haven't made a state tournament. I think Dakota did in his third maybe, but like I said, it's all. I mean, these guys are going to retire eventually. We need to get some new young guys and getting into it. But it's a tough profession. You don't want to go out there and people yelling at you and griping at you. You got to be thick-skinned a little bit. I mean, you got to put up with us coaches questioning you, and you got closet officials up in the stands that know everything about the game of basketball. So you got to have a different mentality being an official. And then, like I said, these guys are getting up in age a little bit, and they're going to get out of it. So guys like Dakota are good to have around. You got the new blood, the young blood to officiate.
Well, and a lot of the reason why Dakota is where he's at is because of the two guys on the floor with him, too, kind of being the coaches and the mentors of him. As we're talking about that, Pawnee had cut the lead to 4, but Pawnee has to foul on the other end of the floor, and Silva knocks down both free throws, so the game is back to a 6-point lead, Pawnee with the ball. And Speak Thunder out top. She's going to drive left side, puts up a little floater, in and out, but they got the rebound. They've been getting rebounds all night. Good rebound by Haley Stevens. I'm telling you, Stevens is tough. They can't keep her off the boards. So 1:47 here left to go. Haley Stevens at the line for 2. These are 2 big free throws for Stevens and Pawnee. First one rattles in, but out and then back in. So 59-55. Or is it 59-54? I'm sorry. 59-55. The lead is cut back down to 4. So Luther will have the ball here. Pawnee pressures out. Silva drives, dumps it down. Good pass. Nunley loses control of it. Good pressure defense there by Haley Stevens. And back comes the other way. Pawnee with the ball. Speak Thunder drives to the rim.
Oh, he called it on 3. Silva's out with 1:30 left in a 4-point ball game.
Oh, wow, they called it on her. I thought they called it on the on-ball defender. This would be a tough situation for Luther if Pawnee can find a way to even tie this thing up and go into extras with Silva on the bench.
She's their floor general. She handles the ball 90% of the basket or the time. So this would be an interesting. If she go make 2 here, this would be an interesting 129.
Yeah, I think the pressure that Pawnee has been able to put on here, at least those guards out top, be like you said with Silva on the bench. That could be really interesting.
But it looks like Pawnee's content to sit back in their zone a little bit. They're not going to put pressure in the full court. They're going to let Luther come down and use some time. But if I'm a Pawnee coach, I want to try to sneak up and apply a little pressure to speed them up, see how they respond with Silva on the bench.
No doubt. So Speak Thunder hits both of her free throws, and now we're talking about a 1-possession, 2-point lead. And Pawnee does come up like you talked about, Coach, and they trap in the corner. Jump ball. It's going to go back to Luther.
They didn't pressure in the full court. They waited to get across half court and get into their little 1-2-2 trap extended court. So
I think they're having a question of wondering who the jump ball. I think they might have gave him a timeout first. Yeah. Good call by the. Well, I'll tell you what. We've got a 2-point game here with 1:22 left. We need to get through all of our great sponsors, so we're going to go ahead and take another break, and we'll be back here shortly with us on Squirtle.
Need quality medical care just minutes away from home? Stillwater Medical providers Dr. Julia Nelson and Mindy Sargent have 2 locations to better serve you. The SMC Clinic of Morrison, located at 414 West Highway 64, is open on Wednesdays from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. The SMC Clinic of Pawnee, located at 300 Boulder Street, is open Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, also from 8 to 6 p.m. Dr. Nelson, Mindy, and their staff enjoy taking care of patients of all ages. Both providers accept Sooner Care, and walk-ins are always welcome. Call today to schedule your appointment.
So welcome back live to the Enid Downtown Festival hosted by Squirtle. Luther will have the ball in bounds, now only up 2 with 1:10 to go, and Speak Thunder is going to be charged with the hand check, and they will put Addison Harris, the freshman, to the free throw line. So probably a good foul. I guess Coach Spears probably had to talk with them about who they'd like to put on the line.
Yeah, I mean, at this point down 2, you try to extend the game, make them go make some free throws. I mean, they're not going to go hit both of them very many times. So you're just going to put them in the line and shoot a 1-on-1, and she steps up and knocks a big free throw. This is a big one here. It makes it a 2-possession game with about 1:15 left.
Big shot by the freshman. First one looked really good. Good arch. Nice shot. That one looks good, too. Rolled in and out, though. Second one is no good, and now it's just a 3-point game. Back the other way, Speak Thunder. Tough shot. 60-59. I did not expect this to happen. Minute left to go now. Luther with the ball. So, Coach, here, are you just going to apply pressure, or they're going to foul?
I don't know. You try to different philosophies there. You try to get a steal, or like you said, the time on the clock's valuable. You can extend the game. They're still in they're in double bonus now, so you got to go make free throws. And great job by Pawnee. Like you see a lot of coaches or a lot of players think they're down 3, they need a 3 right there in that situation. Go get an easy bucket and cut it to a 1-point game and see what happens. So. Pawnee's doing a good job of the end-of-game situation here.
Harley Jones knocks down 1 of 2, which is what you talked about. A lot of times you see him maybe make 1, but not both, and that's happened both times now. 2-point lead, 50 seconds to go. Pawnee with the ball, trailing by 2, and I can't remember the last time they led. Maybe 4-0 early in the game. Oh, bad turnover there. Westermeyer the other way, good rip, and the bucket's in. 63-59. That could be a heartbreaker for Pawnee there. Speak Thunder with the ball out top, 30 seconds left.
I think the ball has to be in Speak Thunder's hands. She's made some good plays down the stretch, and good aggressive drive right there, just didn't finish.
Westermeyer back the other way. If you're Luther, you probably want to pull this out with the 4-point lead, make them foul. Dvorak with the foul. But like you said, Coach, big credit to Pawnee. Pawnee never gave up. They fought the whole time. Came back from as many as, I think, a 16-point deficit at one time. And really, it never felt like they were going to make it back. Luther kind of had that 10-point lead, and then Pawnee would cut it down a little bit. But I think a lot of that had to do with Silva. But the minute Silva went out, that 8 to 10-point lead struck all the way back down to 2. But give Luther credit. They got the turnover, the steal, and the layup, and now they hit 1 or 2 free throws.
I think they might hold on and would get this win if something crazy don't happen down the stretch here.
Good hustle by Wilds. She will step on the out-of-bounds line, so it will be Pawnee's ball underneath with 13 seconds to go. Pawnee's probably going to need to get, obviously, a bucket quick and then foul again. Hopefully they can get a easy bucket and foul and then try to see if they can't miss some free throws. Nice cut back to the basket. it's not knocked down. Pass out in transition to Addison Harris, and Harrison will
Smart
dribble it out. Very
smart.
smart. She's a freshman, too. Isn't that amazing?
There's a heady play there, not going to the bucket. And pulling the basketball out. Great game to start the day of 8. So.
Yeah, no doubt. Great game here for our first game, and we want to thank Pawnee, and we want to thank Luther and all the fans from Luther out there, and the fans from Pawnee, too. I don't mean to not say thanks to them. We thank everybody, but Luther is a partner school of Squirtle, so any fans that happen to be watching on LutherLions.tv, we want to thank them. Hopefully we could have people from Pawnee on PawneeBlackBears.tv. Kind of has a good ring to it, so anybody out there from Pawnee want to reach out to Squirtle, Adam at Squirtle. We'd love to set you guys up. I know Pawnee's very well known for successful athletics, and that's kind of our intention on who we capture. But we're going to have a great boys game coming up right after this. Highly ranked Pawnee boys team facing Luther. Luther doesn't have the schedule, but I promise you, a record, but if you look at their schedule, they've played 7 ranked teams. So we're going to cut this game off, and then we're going to come back, and I'm going to ask for your thoughts on the boys game.
Sounds good.